Hello everyone, we are here at Easy Chemistry channel once again with a new piece of information or a revision of the existing piece. Today in this time we are going to talk about the fact of introduction to hydrocarbon. When I say introduction to hydrocarbon, what I mean is we would just run down few items today, and then if you people need a detailed explanation, please get back to me so that we can redo the entire topic in detail. Because covering hydrocarbon in one class of even 40 minutes will be impossible. When I say impossible, the reason behind the impossibility is hydrocarbon is also is the longest chapter in existing chemistry. So, compounds of hydrogen and carbon and their derivatives, the study of these kind of compounds is termed as organic chemistry. It is very ironical that it is termed as organic chemistry even though it is synthesized in chemistry labs. So the name organic chemistry was given to these compounds because before invention of these compounds in lab, the scientists of 18th century or 19th century, late 18th century and early 19th century believed that these compounds could only be given or produced by animals, plants or human beings. So that is why the name was given as organic compounds. However, when the great scientist Lewis performed an experiment and created urea in a chemistry lab around the year 1854, it was again a big confusion whether to call these kind of compounds organic compounds or should we rename them. But as you would have studied by now, that the IUPAC, that is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, stated that since these are called organic compounds, they should continue to be called organic compounds, or else there would be disparity in nomenclature and that would lead to confusion and extra work for the students. If not students, the chemistry enthusiasts. So children, you would want to understand why a chemistry student and a chemistry enthusiast is a different fact. So the reason behind this is a chemistry enthusiast is someone who studies chemistry to apply it in his or her or the people around him real life, and a chemistry student only studies chemistry to pass the exam. But the day the students become enthusiasts, they will start loving chemistry. Let's get back to the topic. Hydrocarbon. When we are telling you that it's hydrocarbon, what we mean is it is a compound between hydrogen and carbon. However, this is a different kind of a study because you would have learned by now that mainly the compounds that are formed or the compounds that are stable in chemical world are ionic compounds, wherein the electron from one element is transferred to the electron to the orbital of the second element to attain the stable structure of the compound. However, due to the ionic size of the nucleus of carbon, it is not possible, as in carbon is a tetravalent compound and we cannot ensure that if it transfers the electrons to other compound, sorry, to transfer the electron to other elements, the carbon will not be able to stabilize or sustain because the nucleus would collapse. So as a result of which, what happens in formation of hydrocompounds is that they share electrons. So these such compounds are called covalent compounds, and due to the chemical properties, it's only between carbon and hydrogen that this kind of a relationship can be established. Now let's start from the start. As in, we now understand what is an hydrocarbon and why is it different from other compounds in chemistry. Otherwise, it's so different that we are having to create a new branch called organic chemistry. So in the early 19th century, when these hydrocompounds or hydrocarbons were established to be synthesized in chemical labs, the scientists at that time and the IUPAC group decided to divide or to bifurcate the organic hydrocarbons into two types: aliphatic and aromatic. Aliphatic hydrocarbons were those compounds which were either a straight line or a branch chain structure, and aromatic were those which had a different kind of a fragrance which would be useful as the chemical and physical properties. Also, aromatic compounds were found or formed in the form of a ring. Which the most common example is benzyl ring. Now coming back to the aliphatic compounds. So the simplest study is methane. Methane is a compound which has a chemical formula called CH4. This CH4, what we mean is the four hydrogen are attached to one carbon in a single line structure. Now going forward, the alkanes. When we say alkane, what we mean typically is CH4 structures or CnH4n structures. These kind of structural compounds are the simplest compounds. Now, these chemical compounds which have the generic formula of CnH4n are called will be called homologous compounds because of the fact that they have a similar general formula, and any compound or any chain which repeats its physical or chemical properties after a given set of compounds or elements are called homologous compounds, and these kind of series are called homologous series. However, as chemistry has the nature of, or the entire subject of chemistry is full of experiments and reactions. So in nature we have this simple hydrocarbon which is CH4, let's say. So CH4 would not stay alone and would not be singled out. So as chemistry says that any compound in the chemical world has to mix or separate or substitute the other element in nature. So in hydrocarbons also we have the same principle wherein a normal simple alkane like methane or ethane or butane can be changed to ethanol, butanol, propanol. These are called alcoholic compounds. If they are found as a ring compound, then they are called as a aromatic compound. And all these compounds which may be different in physical structure, the base of all these compounds is called the homologous compounds, and they have a similar kind of structures and properties. Even in our human lives, our daily lives, we are very much used to of consuming organic compounds for our daily needs. And the most important and the most common example of this would be petroleum. Petroleum is nothing but a hydrocarbon. If ever you would go to a gas pump and look at the station, you find a statement about or the formula of petroleum, also known as fuel in many colleges and many schools. So this kind of a nature wherein a simple hydrocarbon or a simple alkane can be used for multiple purposes. We would be going through these compounds in our ongoing classes. However, it is very important for all of us to understand that even though we may be situated in any part of the world, as far as the nomenclature of these compounds will be the same, and the same nomenclature throughout would avoid any kind of a confusion. Also, as I told you while we started our basic class, that the nomenclature is done by International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, and if the properties of the elements are similar, or the properties of the compounds are similar after a given set of compounds, these kind of series are known as homologous series. So in hydrocarbons or organic chemistry, we mainly have homologous series. However, there are a few organic compounds, mainly ketones and aldehydes, which are heterologous in nature. So those will be discussed in the next class. Till then, go through this topic. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment box and enjoy learning chemistry. Thank you and stay safe.